Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency meeting. It's Wednesday, November 15th. It's 4:01 p.m. Copy of the Nebraska Opens Meeting Acts on the north wall of the agency boardroom. In attendance, we have the mayor of Springfield, Bob Roseland. We have the mayor of Gretna, Mike Evans, mayor of La Vista, Douglas Kindig, the mayor of Bellevue, Rusty Hike, the deputy city administrator for the city of Papillion, representing Mayor Black's Mark Sturzma. I got our agency administrator here, Dan Hoynes, our agency project engineers here. Jeff Thompson, our agency legal counsel, Adam Charlson, our agency treasurer is here. Everybody's here except an audience, basically. Everybody's here in some official capacity, but nevertheless, and Lisa's here as well. But welcome, and if you would, silence your phones and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did I forget anybody? Well, I didn't name James, but James Timmerman's here as well, our agency treasurer. Anything from the agency board before we get rolling here? Any comments?
Just apologize for missing last meeting. I was walking up the steps at 4:20 for some reason. After 5 years, I had it in my mind that it was 4:30. So everybody's leaving, so I apologize.
Okay. Well, Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, member mayors. A couple of quick updates. I did share with the city administrators at our bi-weekly meeting last week that I was commuting home last week. It was a really cool thing to see a bunch of pipe heading west over towards Mayor Roseland's city. Jeff tells me that they are even further. I was at 84th and Platteview. So if you haven't had a chance, get down there and take a look at it. It's kind of a sense of accomplishment after all we did. And I was going north on 50 the other day and saw all of the pipe. But credit to this group and the agency board in particular for having the foresight. If you recall, we bought all of the pipe, saved $1 million, and now that we got this financing and Hawkins is there, should be able to make quick work of these completing this second part of this phase 1A. We are working with Gretna. They've requested a boundary adjustment. Jeff and I are meeting with with Paul and Greg next week. They would like that considered on I think the next agency board meeting, December 13th. So we get the details of that. We'll work it through with your administrators and send it up and hopefully be able to accommodate their timing request of December 13th. Finally, I did send just an email a few minutes ago. WIFIA did issue a press release late yesterday afternoon on the awarding of the WIFIA loan. Sarpy's got one in queue. They were just waiting for the final approvals on it. But so those things are wrapping up. So that concludes my comments, Mr. Chair, member mayors.
Jeff, engineer.
Chairman Kelly, agency member mayors, thank you. Jeff Thompson, project engineer for the agency. Pleased to report, as Dan mentioned, that Hawkins Construction and their subcontractors are all out of the starting blocks with construction. There's a lot of work going on here. The Zweibel Creek lift station testing came out very well. We were very pleased with the testing on that. So that's complete and has been turned over to the agency for operation once we're ready to accept flow from some of the other areas upstream. And then once we get the crossings at the railroad and the creek completed, we'll be ready to provide service in that area. Just real quick update on the next phase of work, the western phase of work, Mitchell Road lift station. We've got the excavation complete down to the base of the wet well. The mud mat's been poured, and some of the rock around the site for access has been installed along segment 1. It's a little bit off the beaten path, but if you go down 120th Street south of Mitchell Road, there's actually pipe that's strung out. They've got about 8,000 foot of pipe strung out and fused and ready to start digging to put into the ground. Sequentially, they'll fuse the pipe and all of that and try to get ahead of their digging crews before they start digging, but they are well underway when it comes to the fusing of the pipe for segment 1. And then as Dan said, in segment 2, we started at 63rd Street and they're fusing going west. They're just about right now to Hidden Valley Road up there, just on the east side of the sheriff's building. Got some photos that I'll kind of flip through real quick just to kind of give you a perspective of kind of where we're at. So looking at the photo that's on the screen here today, that's the lift station site at Mitchell Road. As I said, they have the mud mat poured, and we're ready to start tying steel as soon as the shop drawings are complete and we start receiving those materials on site. So this is along 120th Street, just south of Mitchell Road. You can see the large bunks of pipe and then the fusing that's being complete as you move north. Those houses in the background just to the north there, Mitchell Road's just on the other side of those to give you some context of where you're kind of at there. That's segment one. Segment two, this is 63rd and Platteview Road looking straight west. You can see in the background there the stretches of pipe that have been fused. This is just kind of working our way west as we just kind of migrate west with these drone shots to kind of give you some perspective. Again, Platteview Road just west of 63rd Street. That driveway is the driveway into Wemhoff addition. We've got the boring under their driveway complete, the pipes in. The road in the background, 69th Street, we're actually digging. You can see the trench boxes and the excavations. They're working on getting that boring punched across there as well. And then they're stringing out pipe there, and that's the Seibold and Davidson property there. And then just keep working our way west. We're basically hovering over the top of Neil Seibold's house, driveway looking kind of northwest towards 75th Street, right there at 75th and Platteview, where you see that excavator in the background. This is jumping to that intersection directly. You can see the bore pits are in. Silt fence is up. They're starting some stripping and topsoil removal at these locations. And again, just working our way west there. You see this is the Ward property, and as we kind of divert away from Platteview Road, that's the new Platteview road alignment where we parallel going back up towards the Sarpy County Public Works Shop. This is looking southwest. You can see in the background there again the Sarpy County. This is Hidden Valley Road looking actually northeast. So we were just coming southwest. This is if you were sitting over Hidden Valley Road looking northeast from there. So that's the extent of the photographs I have for you today. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
So the good part of this is they should have all this pipe in before crops get planted in the spring, right?
Actually, we with the procurement of our easements, we did allow for one crop loss season, so some of them may be able to plant. Some of them likely may not be able to plant, but will be done by the fall of 24. So.
Will there'll be some damages for that if that happens, so?
Potentially, yes. Well, we've paid for 1 year.
Yeah. Oh, we did?
We paid for 1 year. We negotiated 1 year's of crop loss. If we end up going into a second year, we would have to take those claims as they come.
Yeah, I forgot to mention on Jeff's request, I sent a letter to the commander of the Corps of Engineers and asked him for a little help to expedite the permitting process. We notionally have 90 days to get our emergency action plan so we can drill under the Papio Creek approved. They've had it for over 3 months, and they're like
99 days today.
So hopefully that'll expedite it. We'll see. Probably not, but at least I put a marker down on behalf of the agency.
Fair enough. We've been trying multiple avenues, so the NRD has been helpful in trying to twist some arms there to shake things loose as well. So right. We're trying to get things approved as quickly as we can, but we're kind of at their mercy, unfortunately.
Questions for Jeff? Thank you.
Thank you.
Adam, anything?
Unless you.
Okay. We'll get right into the agenda. 2 items on the consent agenda. Unless any of the agency members want to see that move to the regular agenda for discussion, I'll take a motion to approve as published.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by LaVista, second by Gretna. Any discussion on the consent? Please vote.
Yeas 5, abstain, Springfield.
Okay, the first item on the regular agenda is Resolution 39, which grants a boundary adjustment request under our growth management plan and policies. It affects about 8 acres just south of us here in Sarpy County. It's if you're not familiar, it's on the way to Hawaiian Village, and it's just north of Papillion. The city of Papillion's water operation, I guess I'd call it. Water plant. Jeff.
You stole my thunder. This request came by the city of Papillion through Sarpy County because it is in Sarpy County's jurisdiction. So that request had to come through Sarpy County's jurisdiction to make that request. As Chairman Kelly stated, they currently own about 5 acres of property where their water treatment plant facility is at. Several years ago, they purchased another 8 acres just to the north of that. They had been bringing in fill over the course of time to try to get that site built up. About half or a little over half of that property is elevated and isn't reflected in the current agency boundary, the southern boundary of the agency's jurisdiction. I found that there's a disconnect there, and based on that and some agreements that they have with Hawaiian Village to potentially provide sewer service at some point in the future for that facility, that it's a material defect in how the boundary was drawn, and I'd make a recommendation to adjust that boundary. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Motion, please.
Just real quick.
Sure.
I don't think I understood. Providing sewer to Hawaiian Village.
The city of Papillion, when they negotiated some land rights for wells along the Platte River with Long Island Sand and Gravel, had an agreement to provide sewer and water to Long Island. The only way to get sewer to Long Island was to negotiate an agreement with Hawaiian Village, who currently has their own package plant. As part of that, Papillion also requested that they be allowed a connection to Hawaiian Village's sewer package plant to provide service to their water treatment plant. So the wastewater treatment or the water treatment facility for Papillion would be able to be serviced by Hawaiian Village's sewer system, if that makes sense.
Okay, it's the other way.
Yes, sir.
Village.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, the other way. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Gretna, second by Springfield to approve Resolution 39. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays none, motion carried.
Okay, item 4 is Resolution 40, approving a vehicle and equipment purchases. Jeff Thompson.
Chairman Kelly, agency member mayors, thank you. Jeff Thompson again. Just for edification purposes, our purchasing agreement, or our purchasing policy rather, requires board action on any purchases over $20,000. In this particular case, we had budgeted another truck for Jacob for operational purposes in the future, as well as a lawnmower to be able to mow our lift station sites and some of the linear properties that we have along some of the roadway corridors and whatnot that won't be maintained by either Sarpy County or others. We need a trailer to haul the mower, and then obviously to outfit the truck. We're going to put a plow on it to be able to plow ourselves in and out of our lift station properties, as well as a sander to be able to sand those and make sure that we're able to get in and out of those lift station sites without being reliant upon someone else to do that for us. So with that, all the feedback that I've gotten from a lot of the agency administrators, their public works departments, are that the lead time on vehicles right now is 12, maybe 14 months. And that could even be affected more so with the current strike and how all that's going to play out in people getting caught up and whatnot. So I'd like to try to get that process started. We actually have found a vehicle down in Missouri, a truck down in Missouri that is available, and it comes in under what the state bid contract price was that we had received from Sarpy County. So I'd like to try to maybe lock that down if at all possible and get things rigged for winter.
And this is all in the budget.
It is in the budget, yes, sir. Yeah, I had about $115,400 in the budget. Normally what I do in the budget process is I reach out and get real pricing from Sarpy County, and then I usually add 3% of that just because of inflationary costs. By the time we get from budget to actually making a purchase, usually that price has changed a little bit. So not intentionally inflating it for any reason other than just inflation. But yes, we do.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve?
Second, Bellevue.
Okay, motion by LaVista, second by Bellevue. Any further comments or discussion? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays, none, motion carried.
Okay, last item on the agenda is Resolution 41. It's authorizing the payment for crop loss to Richard Gotch in the amount of $6,639.45. Jeff.
Thank you, Chairman Kelly, agency member mayors, Jeff Thompson again. This is a claim that came in for reasons that you previously outlined. We had purchased easement rights for a growing season through Springfield and south of Springfield. In this particular case, we weren't completed on the Gotch property south of Flug. Our contractor wasn't to the point where we were able to turn that back over to him for planning purposes. He had called immediately and asked, what the process for him seeking compensation was. We really don't have a written policy on it, but we felt it was best that he provide us with some written documentation showing what his crop yield on the adjacent property immediately adjacent to this was, and apply that to the easement footprint and pay him based on that. Reason we're bringing it to the board, I know it's less than $10,000, but in this particular case, Mr. Gotch, his last name is coincidentally that of the city administrator in Springfield, so we wanted to make sure everybody was of the understanding that this isn't, a one-off type shade deal that's being made on the site. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions? Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I'll second it. Motion by Springfield, second by Sarpy. Any discussion? Please vote.
Yea, 6, nays, none, motion carries.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Jeff. For the protection of the public interest, I move we go into executive session to discuss personnel. I need a second.
Second.
Okay, motion by Sarpy, a second by LaVista to go into executive session. Please vote.
We're going to ask that everybody out in the audience leaves
Yea,
except
6,
for
nays,
Lisa.
none, motion carried.
Is that right? Let's go home.
Okay, it's now 4:37. At 4:18, we went into executive session where our discussion was restricted to a personnel matter. I need a motion to return to the regular session.
So moved. Bellevue.
Second?
Motion by Bellevue, second by Gretna. Please vote.
I vote yes. Screen just went off.
Yea, 6, nays, none, motion carried.
Okay, our next meeting is December 13th, 2023. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving and all agenda items have been addressed as published, and the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency Board is adjourned.